Hey guys, Alex here, back again doing another review. This is my long-awaited The Summer of Punk DVD review. I got this from the Synergy shows back in April, and it took me this long to finally fucking watch them just because I've been putting it off forever. I gotta say, I am so glad I bought this show because this is probably one of the best angles that ROH has done in a long time. For those of you who don't know, the Summer of Punk took place in the summer of 2005, and this is right when CM Punk had signed with WWE. And basically what happened was, in his last match in the company, he won the ROH title and then proceeded to announce that he was going to take the title to WWE. And what followed was 4 shows of him defending the title, all under the guise that he was leaving as soon as the match was over. But through circumstances, like, he kept coming back. This angle was very, very well done. It was very well received from a lot of fans, and I can easily see why. Probably one of the best angles that ROH did back in 2005 and for a while, and really it showed how well it was when WWE basically did the same thing back last year, and you can see a lot of them playing. Like CM Punk mentions pipe bombs. Basically the same guise of him leaving the company after winning the belt. But let's get into it with the very first match on the set, which is CM Punk versus Austin Aries at Death Before Dishonor 3. Very, very good match. This is a classic match. This is 5 stars easily. Great psychology, the whole match, of like Punk working over Aries' neck, Austin Aries working over CM Punk's neck, just basically weakening each other. Crowd was so behind this match. This was a really, really hot crowd for this match. Like, they were booing everything Aries did and would pop big for every little thing that CM Punk did. Great. Near falls were really, really good. One that I really liked was Austin Aries copying CM Punk's Pepsi plunge move. CM Punk kicks out at one and just goes like berserk, and the crowd just goes crazy, hyping up for this match, or for that near fall. Just awesome match, really, really great. This match alone makes this worth getting, and definitely a must-see match. Also on this DVD, they included all the promos that Punk did, including the one right after this match, which is one of the best heel promos I've ever seen. Like, CM Punk goes from being the most loved guy in ROH to suddenly the most despicable, nasty person in the world, and you want it, and, like, they hated him instantly after this. Really, really great. And I won't go into to talk about the promos, but they're all really, really good. Especially the one after this, before signing Dishonor, where he signs the WWE contract on the Ring of Honor belt. Just really, really, that's just like, oh, that's just like the greatest heel thing ever. And then the one he had with Mick Foley later on, which was really good too. Signed a Dishonor match with Jay Lethal. This was a really good match too. A lot of good counters, back and forth. Crowd really bought in this well and thought that Lethal could win the belt. Ending was really nice because he basically mocked Samoa Joe, who Jay Lethal was Samoa Joe's protege, so that was really cool, and I thought that fit well. Really shame they never did a Samoa Joe CM Punk match during this time, because I think that would have been a really, really good match and could have really boosted this angle a little bit more. Escape from New York. This was with CM Punk versus Roderick Strong. Another great match. Loved the back and forth. Definitely a star-making match for Roderick Strong. Really showed how much potential he had, and would go on to do great things. Came really close. Crowd was really behind Roderick again. Crowd was basically behind everyone who competed for the belt against CM Punk. Came very close to winning, and I liked CM Punk just kind of like stealing the win by using the ropes and cheating. He would continue this for most of the matches that he defended the title against. Really good match though. Fate of an Angel with CM Punk versus James Gibson. This is probably the second best of his title defenses he had, because this was a really great match. They really built up this James Gibson CM Punk feud, and it's really a shame they couldn't go further with this, because it was a really good feud, I thought, for the short time it was. Really great back and forth. James Gibson like bleeding during this match, and CM Punk getting cut up, and I thought really added a little extra level to show how like intense the hatred was, that they'll keep going no matter how much blood they're losing, and just really fighting through. Really good near falls, and just a really, really great match, and the crowd was super. I think the crowd really thought that this was like the first time that someone had a legitimate chance of taking the belt off Punk with James Gibson. ROH The Homecoming. This was between CM Punk and Christopher Daniels. This is a pretty good match. Really good storytelling, you know, really fit into this whole feud they've been having for a long time, which goes back to the Prophecy, which is Christopher Daniels' group, and Second City Saints, which is CM Punk's group. They had a big feud in 2003, and like so they were building this matchup for a while. But I think that this match didn't. One thing that really lowered it for me was the hour-long draw it had, just because I thought like, oh, then the feud never really got a conclusive end, and also just kind of dragged at times. But it had a nice back and forth. I think if this had been like a 40-minute match or even 30 minutes, it would have been a lot better. I just think they kind of dragged it out a little too long, but still a good match. Then we have the Redemption match, which was the 4-way elimination match between Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Christopher Daniels, and James Gibson. Awesome back and forth in this match. Just loved, like, everyone's involvement in this match really had a purpose. You know, the Samoa Joe, like in CM Punk, like CM Punk deliberately trying to avoid Samoa Joe just because he's never beaten Samoa Joe, and I think that he's like the guy that he feared the most. CM Punk targeting after James Gibson and Christopher Daniels and playing up the rivalries they've had recently, and just really great storytelling from everyone involved. All the eliminations really worked. I didn't really like the Samoa Joe one just because I think they could have done it a little bit better, but it really fit well and like made it look like it was just like CM Punk just stole the win. And then the big comeback of James Gibson being taken out and returning after getting a concussion was really, really good and really got the crowd into it, and the finish was well done, and just great way to end the reign of CM Punk, and big win for James Gibson. This is probably one of James Gibson's best matches I've seen him in, although I haven't seen a lot of his work in ROH. Really a shame that WWE never used the guy properly. And then we had the very last match, with is CM Punk the final chapter between CM Punk and Colt Cabana in a 2 out of 3 falls match. This would be CM Punk's second to last show. He made like an unannounced appearance at, I think it was Unscripted 2, just because most of the talent couldn't be there because of weather, and so he made an appearance for a special occasion. But this was a really good match, a lot of fun. You could just tell both guys were just trying to basically have fun with it. They weren't really trying to steal the show. I think they were just having some fun. Good, like, kind of storytelling where Colt Cabana was just being his normal kind of jokey self and kind of like just having a laugh. And CM Punk wanted to, like, be serious. Be serious is a wrestling match. And I think that played up very well. And then like the last fall really was where it picked up almost, and like really had a great back and forth and counter for counter moves. And the finish was kind of nice because it just came out of nowhere, and it looks like Punk almost got Colt Cabana almost just got lucky in the win. So I like that a lot, and definitely not as good as it could have been, but it was a really great way of saying goodbye to CM Punk, and what better way to him go out and then having a match with his best friend Colt Cabana. So really good. All in all, this is a definite. If you're a fan of CM Punk, if you're a fan of ROH, you definitely need to see these series of matches because it is really great, and this is just one of the best, I think, heel runs I've seen from a guy. Like CM Punk just goes from being this loved guy to being so hated, and that's what's just really great about it. And I really recommend it to anyone who's a wrestling fan, and especially fans of CM Punk. All right, take care, guys, and talk to you later. Bye.